Well, the cut came in two stages. First, there was $550 million earlier in the year, and then just a couple of weeks ago, end of June, the legislature added another $150 million, which is nearly 1/4 of the state's support of the university. So this is a massive problem. So we had a plan to deal with the first $550 million.
The major components, you will recall, were to reduce enrollment by some 8,000 FTES, reduce campus expenditures by over $280 million, reduce the Chancellor's Office budget by nearly $11 million, and increase the tuition fee by 10%.
And now this latest effort by the legislature and to cut another $150 million. We addressed today with the Board of Trustees with another tuition fee increase. But if we look at the $700 million in total, we've essentially addressed $400 million of the $700 million by cutting spending, by getting more efficient in our administration, by getting more efficient in the classroom, and by making some other painful choices in terms of lower enrollment targets, for example. I think it's important to remind everyone that the CSU in the last 6 months was not sitting passively by in this budget debate. People throughout the university were actively engaged all the way up to the Chancellor, working with the governor closely to try to educate the public on the need for the tax extensions. Those tax extensions, had they been enacted, would have averted the need for additional cuts beyond the initial $500 million that we already were dealing with when the trustees last met. Well, the additional tuition fee revenue is really filling the hole that has been created by the state. And what it's going to be spent on is class sections for students, services for students like financial aid, counseling, etc. It's going to be paying for libraries, for operating the libraries, for acquiring media and books for the libraries, just about everything that you can think of that is necessary to run an educational institution and support the educational program. That's what the money is spent on. For a lot of students, financial aid will fill the gap. We have a strong financial aid program. We continue to do everything we can to protect those students with the most financial need. So we have a 1/3 financial aid set aside built into the recommendation. There are other grant programs and fee waiver programs, and when you combine all of those things, we estimate that about 170,000 of our undergrads, that's about 45% of our undergrads, are going to be protected from the recommended increase by a grant or a fee waiver.